And I think a lot of the Buccaneers have that same feeling that you can be good, but your legacy to be great, you have to have a Super Bowl win. Because John Lynch said the same thing.
Kick taken at the 2 by Marcus Knight. And the Raiders in dire need of something really big. It's a good run back, but then it gets taken down by Ronde Barber. So there's Barber all over the field on special teams as well, with a textbook tackle.
And that's something when you have your best corner, one of your best defensive backs on special teams, you know he's a special player.
Street.
You could have seen it coming. Cadillac. Breakthrough.
From the people who brought you The Sixth Sense,
It's real.
Paul Callan is about to discover that some miracles
This is a sign.
have nothing to do with angels.
Stop! It's happening!
What does it want?
Everything.
Miracles premieres tomorrow night, Super Monday at 10/9 Central on ABC. Viewer discretion advised.
All-Star Sunday next week, the NHL All-Star Game from Sunrise, Florida, home of the Panthers, 2:30 Eastern. And, of course, the bus doesn't go to Honolulu, so Dan Faust is going to come over with me to Honolulu. We'll check in with you, I'm sure, during the game at some point, John.
Right, I'm sure that'll be an enjoyable week.
In Hawaii, some of these guys coming with us as well, Gannon and Johnson, among others, as Gannon starts this drive with Charlie Garner. And now the Raiders obviously going to no huddle with 20 minutes left in the game.
You know, and the Buck defense has been playing the same group of guys. You know, 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, not playing Al Singleton, and playing their 5th defensive back, Dwight Smith, the whole game. So they've been playing them 4-2-5.
2nd and 2. Gannon to the outside, and it is intercepted by Dwight Smith, the nickelback, and he gets by Gannon and goes in for the touchdown. He tried to hit Jerry Rice. Instead, it's a 44-yard interception return.
You know, 4-2-5, and Dwight Smith is a 5. He's playing right corner, and he's playing out here on Jerry Rice. And you see him off here. He's just playing zone, and he just reads it. You see, he was like 10 yards off of Jerry Rice, and as we said the whole time, the thing that these guys do the best is they key the quarterback's eye. Dwight Smith was like 10 yards off, just watching the quarterback all the way, and he got a big jump on that one.
3rd pick of Gannon in the game. The other 2 by Dexter Jackson, and Gramatica puts one through. And the Gulf Coast is starting to rock already, I guarantee you. 34-3 Buccaneers.
Smoking marijuana impairs your judgment. It's more harmful than we all thought.
I am recruiting you.
For the CIA?
Would I have to kill anyone? Would you like to?
You will become CIA operatives. We're going to teach you to deceive, exploit, and kill.
Nintendo.
Rule number 1. Nothing is what it seems. You can't trust anyone. If you are caught, you're dead.
The Recruit.
Some of you will not survive the final test.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
I grill.
I grill with
George.
I grill with George. George.
George.
Yo cocino con George.
I grill with George, too.
America's favorite grill is America's favorite gift. Get a George Foreman lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine for someone you love.
Hey, that's my line.
He has an IQ of 180.
She is a world-class musician.
He has won 4 gold.
So what? Is she hot?
Is he hot?
Are you hot? The search for America's sexiest people begins February 13th on ABC.
Dwight Smith still exulting. Hugged there by John Lynch on the sideline. Recounting the play. Derek Brooks, the defensive player of the year. And for Gannon, 3 picks.
Yep, and he looked at Jerry Rice on that one, and we said how the Buck defense is just playing zone. I mean, they're just making their zones deeper now and just reading Gannon.
Two-hopper, Marcus Knight from the 6. And again, great coverage. And I go back to Gruden telling us each time we did Tampa this year, I'm really worried about kickoff return coverage. They got that fixed.
Even Warren Sapp brought up that the other day. He said, the only bad thing we got about this team is our kickoff coverage.
It's as good as it gets today. That was Corey Ivy.
When we asked Reebok to send us Terry Tate, some people thought we were crazy. But I'm a firm believer in paradigm breaking, outside the box thinking.
Hey, buddy.
Break was over 15 minutes ago, Mitch!
And since Terry's been with us, our productivity has gone up 46%. We're getting more from our employees than ever before.
You know you need a cover sheet on your TPS reports, Richard. That ain't new, baby.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Janice.
But what's really impressed me is how Terry's become part of the Felcher family.
Yeah, baby.
He fits right in here.
That's a long-distance call, Doug.
To be honest, I wish Reebok sent us 10 Terry Tates.
You want to play games, Gene? Well, when it's game time, it's pain time, baby. Woo!
Everything okay?
I'm sorry, I'm just a little freaked out right now.
What?
I don't understand why anyone would want a 3rd arm.
Oh, baby. It's the best thing I've ever done. For one thing, I never had to put down my Bud Light. And when it's my turn to buy around, I can carry like 9 beers. Oh, let me get that for you, baby. Waiter.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
You get used to it, baby.
Make it a Bud Light.
Access Superbowl.com. Get total Super Bowl coverage and cast your vote for today's MVP only at Superbowl.com.
ABC Sports coverage of Super Bowl 37 being brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Charlie's Angels, full throttle, coming to theaters everywhere this summer. Sierra Mist, one shockingly refreshing lemon lime from the makers of Pepsi. And Cadillac, the official vehicle of Super Bowl 37. From the 18, Gannon again going to work with less than 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd, and it just continues. This time it's Ellis Wims with the sack.
Let's watch that interception again by Dwight Smith, and you'll see the coverage. We're talking about 5 defensive backs. Here's Rondé Barber. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive backs. Now, right here is Dwight Smith, and you see how off he is, and he's just looking in and reading Rich Gannon. And he got a jump of about 7 yards on that play. Watch him here. He's coming off. He's not looking at Jerry Rice. He's looking in at Rich Gannon. When Rich Gannon gets ready to throw, he ggets ready to jump, and when he throws, he beats Jerry Rice to the ball. But that's all they're doing. You know, saying, how are they stopping Jerry Rice? How are they stopping Tim Brown? How are they stopping? All they're doing is playing a zone, and as this game goes on, that zone's getting softer.
And there is Greg Spires, who had a sack and a big first half, the defensive end, who's hurt.
Greg Spires had a great start to this game. Remember this one here? There he is on Lincoln Kennedy, and then you see him just pushing here, and then he goes to make the tackle. Looks like he just got his leg twisted there. I'll tell you, that was big. I mean, I think, you know, the start, Greg Spires kind of started it out for this Buccaneer front four, and then Simeon Rice came up next, and then the middle guys started taking over. So it hasn't been just one. It hasn't just been Warren Sapp, or it hasn't just been Simeon Rice. This guy here has made a lot of big plays today for this defense.
Well, so much was made of the #1 offense against the #1 defense, and we talked about it during the pregame show, John, and it's reflected in the score. It's reflected in that. And historically, defensively, the great defense beats the great offense.
Well, I mean, they're proving it here right now.
2nd and 11. Gannon finally airs one out, and wouldn't you know it, he still completes that one to a Buccaneer. That's Jermaine Phillips with an out-of-bounds interception.
Yeah, and just complete frustration has come in now. I mean, that's the thing, and that's what this Buck defense does to you. I mean, they're very physical, and they do all the physical things to you, but they also do those things where they just make you be patient, and then you want to be patient, and then pretty soon you're down like this. It's 34-3, and you're still trying to be patient.
3rd and 11 from the 17. Gannon over the middle. Finally, a big play through the air to Doug Jolly, the tight end, up to the 43-yard line. Much made of 1 versus 1, but let's expand it a little bit. And if you take a team in the top 3 in offense against the top 3, there have been 9 such games in the history of the Super Bowl. The defense has won 8, and right now we're on our way to 9 out of 10.
You know, I thought maybe that was something that used to be true and wasn't true as much today, the way football is being played. But I don't agree with that. I don't agree with what I thought. I agree that the defense will win championship.
And here is Rice, and there's a flag because there's a face mask. Brian Kelly with a face mask, and Brian's trying to say, no, I got his shoulder pad.
You know, these face masks are getting so big now that you can start off for a shoulder, and on the way to grab a shoulder pad, you grab a hunk of that face mask because they stick out so far. But it was just something that, you know, we talk about defense, and this defense just smothered the Raider offense.
The player grabbed his jersey. 2nd down.
Kelly.
Brian Kelly was right.
Yeah.
Watch him here. Here he is on Jerry Rice right here. After Jerry Rice catches the ball. No, that wasn't even close to a face mask, was it?
Just a shirt.
At least the one official threw it, and then another official came and told him that you were wrong, and that was Jerry Rice's first catch.
42 minutes into the game. Gannon throws it over the middle, and that's incomplete, intended for Doug Jolly. Well, the Raiders began the day with a field goal off a pick, and then their last 6 possessions, ugly. Interception, punt, then the end of the half. 3 and out to start this half. Another pick for a touchdown. And the total yardage is 108 yards for Oakland at this point in the game.
You know what I think Tampa Bay or John Gruden did is they kind of both started out the same way. You know, trying to throw the ball and outpacing Temple. It didn't work. He went to the running game. The Raiders didn't.
3rd and 4 from the 48-yard line, and that's deflected over the middle in and out of the hands of Porter, and a flag down at the Tampa 45.
You know, and he was able to change that thing. I mean, I think he was the first one to get his offense out of a funk. I mean, they were both kind of in a funk when they started. Gruden got his offense out, Callahan never did get
Pass
his offense
interference.
out.
53. Defense. Automatic first down in spot of the foul.
Shelton Quarles. I mean, look at that, that face. Al Hirschfeld, the great caricaturist, died this week at the age of 99. I only wish he had lived a little longer and just once drawn Gruden. But, you know, when you look at Gruden's face, it is a Hirschfeld caricature.
Yeah. And you wonder how one face can get in those many positions.
First and 10 from the 46. Sidearm to John Ritchie. Inside the 40 to the 39.
Yeah, Rich Gannon is great at that, throwing balls at different angles, you know, and he says the way football is today, you know, it used to be that pass rushers would just rush, and now they try and take lanes away from you, get their hands up and those kinds of things. So he said there's sometimes the only way you can get it in a lane is to throw it sidearm like he did there.
So he's like a Don Drysdale of football.
Yeah. He doesn't bring it with as much heat though as Drysdale.
Second down and 3. And that's incomplete.
Yeah, if you watch John Gruden's, Rich Gannon's arm motion, you see the left one there is the over the top. You know, they're just the thing where you throw over the top. Then he has the 3/4 where it's down a little more, and then the sidearm on the right there just to try and find that lane to throw it through. But a quarterback has to be able to do all those things, you know, throw the different throws and kind of move around in the pocket a little to play in this league.
3rd and 3 now from the 39-yard line. Gannon has time this time and then throws, and it is caught out of the end zone. And wouldn't you know it, Porter beats the secondary, but the pass is thrown a hair too long.
And, you know, you look at the future of the Raiders, and this Jerry Porter is going to be the guy, because now, you know, if they don't have him in here, again, as I said earlier, there's not a lot of speed there. And you see he's just going to go right by Dwight Smith there, and he has so much speed. Watch him here. I mean, he can turn on another gear. Dwight Smith just fell down. I don't know. This could be a catch, Al.
You know, at this point,
he got there, and then he drags that left foot. I think that's a touchdown.
Well, and Gannon got up to the line, and you could almost tell by the way he was slow in getting to the line, and they were going to go for it on 4th down here, that the Raiders are going to challenge.
But you saw Jerry Porter's speed there. I mean, he had a gear, and then he got in front behind Dwight Smith, and then the ball was in the air, and he had another gear.
On the field that it was an incomplete pass. We'll review the play.
Now, when Carollo goes over, they look for two things, obviously, inbounds and then possession. So the first thing he does, he looks at the feet. You look at the feet first, and then you look for possession.
So now I think we have to look at possession because he did have feet.
Right. There's the right foot, and then he drags the left, but the ball is rolling around a little bit.
But he still has control of it. I mean, it doesn't hit the ground, or he doesn't drop it or anything.
Yeah, but the refs hate to see that, though. They hate when that ball begins to roll around. See, his feet look like they're. I mean, the left foot he's dragging it. The right foot is clearly in, but the ball is rolling, and you have to exhibit control of it as you're going out of bounds, and I don't think he is. I don't think Carollo overturns this.
Okay, just to be contrarian, I think he does. Just maybe because I think he has control of it too.
John, anything to hold an audience at this point.
I mean, he has both hands on it. He runs into the wall and doesn't drop it.
But it's rolling around, and you know, I have a feeling Carollo is going to say he doesn't have.
I think control right there. He has good control. And now he's out. I mean, now. I mean, I know he has to maintain control. I mean, had he fallen down out of bounds, I know he has to maintain control of the ball and those things. But I don't know if he's going to say that the ball did move as he brought it into his chest. That would be.
Well, Carollo's going to take only about half the allotted time. He has seen enough. As Whitey Herzog once said when asked, how did you get thrown out of the 7th game of the World Series with the score 8-0? Whitey said, I'd seen enough.
After reviewing the play, it's been determined that the receiver possessed and caught the ball with both feet inbounds throughout the process of making the catch. The play is reversed to a touchdown.
There you
Oakland
go.
is not charged with a timeout.
You see, so much for Tom Brady trying to, you know, sit on the ball last year.
Right, right. But sometimes contrarian is good. No, I thought that was a heck of a catch, though. I mean, you know, I mean, to be able to keep the feet in and drag that in and the control. I mean, he just had both hands out there. And this guy's going to be the future of the Oakland Raiders. You say, who's going to be their star 5 years from now? The Raiders' star 5 years from now is going to be Jerry Porter.
So Porter scores a touchdown. A delayed reaction touchdown, but nonetheless, it's 34-9 as Oakland finally gets into the end zone. And he will go for 2.
And then the question always comes up, why'd you wait that long to throw deep to Jerry Porter?
Absolutely. Bucks and everybody, and Gannon goes down in the arms of Simeon Rice, almost untouched around the corner.
And when he gets untouched around the corner, his first step is so quick, and then he gets right into that second, third, and fourth. Once Simeon Rice, he's darn near in a sprinter stance there. Now, if you try and block him, Barry Sims gets out there a little late, but he's way too quick for that. I mean, there's no way that you're going to be able to step inside and then step back outside and ever get Simeon Rice. There's a guy that's had a heck of a year. You know, there's Simeon Rice. Remember when he was in Arizona and people weren't sure, and then he came to Tampa and he was kind of, you know, pretty good, but, you know, not big enough to play the run and didn't do all those things. This year he has been a complete player.
And let's, on the subject of receivers and Jerry Porter, here's Lynn Swann.
Well, Al, thank you very much. Remember back in the AFC Championship game, I know you do, John, we were watching it together. We watched Jerry Porter drop a pass in the end zone. You recall that play?
Right.
Well, during the week, I talked to Jerry Porter, and I asked him what happened on that play. He's such a sure-handed guy. He said, Swan, I looked down to see where I was on the football field, took my eye off the ball. I said, well, now what do you think after you've had that experience? He says, in the same situation, I'll never take my eye off the ball. Right there. That's a market receiver that's going to get better year after year. In 1 week, he realized, focus on the ball, you make the catch, keep your body in bounds, it's a touchdown.
You know, John, you're talking about the future, too. I mean, and Porter clearly is, but the Raiders are going to have to really cut and pare here in the offseason. They're going to be millions of dollars over the cap as the line drive kickoff is taken at the 7-yard line. And this is Dwight Smith running it back up to the 30. Well, we have John Lynch mic'd up, and let's check in and find out what was going on.
Yeah, pump. I'll tell you one thing. I remember when I got out of coaching and came up to the booth, and then a couple years later I went down on the sideline in a scrimmage. I forgot how hard they hit. You know, when you're up here and it looks like they're just taking guys down, when you get down there in the field and you hear it, you know that's some hit.
And there's a flag coming in as Pittman picks up a couple. I thought that that earlier mic'd up with Lynch, and this was a hold here against Tampa, was the most revealing thing we heard from the mic'd up today when he said that, you know, they're running every play we practice against.
67 offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
And part of that is John Gruden and kind of knowing that offense and knowing the philosophy. And a big part of it is Monty Kiffin, the old defensive coordinator, who always has his team ready to play. I mean, you look and you talk about a guy that has never drank decaf in his life, who is always up, who's always, you know, coaching and teaching and has chairs and stuff out there. That's old Monty Kiffin.
1st and 10 from the 21 after the holding call. Pittman on that mic'd up, and we get a lot of publicity about it this week, having the opportunity to mic up Lynch and mic up Rice, and not play it live. We listen to it and then, you know, figure out what you can and can't hear. Jerry took his mic off. Second half, he said, enough of this stuff.
Yeah, I think that's okay when you're winning. I think the stuff that goes on a losing sideline and a losing bench is a lot of frustration that maybe they don't want you to hear, nor do they want to hear themselves. Now on this side here, this is going to get better and a heck of a lot happier if they keep going this way.
2nd and 18 from the 23. Romanowski's had a fairly silent day. One of the few times the play clock has gone all the way down. And it's out to the 27-yard line for Pittman. You know, John, I begin to wonder sometimes, what do certain people think? I'm wondering right now, what is Tony Dungy thinking? What is Bill Parcells thinking? What would John McKay, the late John McKay, have been thinking right now?
Well, I think John McKay would be happy as heck because his son, Rich McKay, is here, and he really didn't want Rich to go into football, but if you're going to, then go in, put everything in there and do this. Bill Parcells is probably thinking, geez, if I were going to go back, if I knew I was going to go back into it, I'd rather be here today than where I am. And Tony Dungy probably has to be thinking, geez, maybe if they just gave me one more year, this would be me.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty bittersweet for Tony. I mean, who really molded this team and then watched Gruden get him over the top. And there's a flag here as the third period has 9 seconds left. John McKay, of course, with an offside against Oakland, was the original coach after a great career at USC. And out of the womb, this team, as an expansion team, was 0-26.
Offside defense, number 50, 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Eric Barton, of course, Johnny, McKay had the greatest of all lines. You know, one time after one of those losses, the reporter said, what do you think of your team's execution? He said, I'm all for it.
Yeah, that was John McKay. You know, they talk about guys with great one-liners, and John McKay was that guy. But I'll tell you another thing. I played for John McKay 1 year, and I knew him as a coach and a friend, and he was a heck of he was a brilliant football coach.
No question. And died about a year ago. 34-9, end of 3. Super Bowl 37 will continue from San Diego.
Get ready for winter's hottest day. From South Florida, the NHL All-Star Game presented by Nextel. Then the NFL Pro Bowl from Hawaii. Next Sunday is ABC's All-Star Sunday.
Nice shot. Let's see what you can do now.
Let's go, man.
Don't smile, kid.
How much you want?
All day. Oh, gotta stay down on that.
I got that.
You got what? That's a youngster for you. Just when you thought it was safe to come outside.
Bet you won't score again.
I won't score again? How you like that rainbow? We're not done. Excuse me. Had enough? Well, look here, sucker. You reach, I teach you. We'll see. Lesson just started. Come on. That's ugly.
Could have done.
You should have done.
Hey, Mike.
What?
Who's got next?
Get your young butt out there.
ABC Action News, taking action for you.
Back in San Diego, Al Michaels, John Madden, Melissa Stark, Lynn Swan. Super Bowl 37 with 15 minutes left in regulation and a 25-point Tampa Bay lead.
There's one thing about both of these teams. Neither one of them use shotgun. And, you know, shotgun, I'm thinking this 3rd and long, you'd usually be in a shotgun situation, but Tampa Bay won't be, the Raiders won't be, because neither of them have used it all year.
Not a single snap on either side. 3rd and 9, and here's Pittman, and he gets stopped here. So the Raiders were able to stop him. We'll get the ball back.
Well, you can tell what John Gruden's doing here. He's trying to run time off the clock. I mean, he's got, and that's what he is, and that's what he does. I mean, he gets a lead, and then he sits on it and tries to run the clock out.
Coaches talk about balance. 31 running plays for Tampa tonight, 30 passing plays.
And they're going to end up a lot unbalanced because he'll run the rest of the game.
And that is blocked, and that's exactly what the Raiders need, if anything, to get back in the game. And it's taken into the end zone by Eric Johnson for a touchdown. Well,
now he's not going to sit on that lead. Yeah, we talked about momentum changers, and somewhere you have to come up with a momentum changer, and it usually comes on a special teams play. It can come on a return. It can come on a block. This one here, it comes on a block. What's number 51? You're going to see him right here. He's the guy. He gets his right hand up. Johnson gets his right hand up, knocks it over, doesn't catch the ball, but they get it and have a convoy going into the end zone.
Well, the Bucs have their Johnson to Johnson, and so do the Raiders. Tim Johnson to Eric Johnson.
Tim Johnson tried to find it and couldn't, and he was looking for it. Eric Johnson found it. That's what a special teams coach does after they get that play that does change the momentum.
It was Bob Casulo exultant on the sideline. Tupa did not have a punt block all season, and now the Raiders will go for two.
Yeah, the Raiders had a punt block last week. I mean, it wasn't a block. I mean, the punt block was on. The punter had to hold it, and they got the ball there. And that was a momentum changer for him last week, too, against Tennessee.
So 14-16 remaining. We've gone from 34-3 to 34-15 and maybe 17. The two-point conversion. Gannon, and throws it out of the back of the end zone. Intended for Tim Brown. So again, they fail on a two-point. The margin is now 19. But not that long ago, it was 31 with 14-16 left in regulation.
Have you ever spent like 5 minutes with him? He's totally self-centered and insensitive. They just don't go together. I mean, she's my best friend. She has these emotional needs he can't meet. Remember what she went through with Brad? It's just like awful. And now he's the one acting needy.
He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's going to go all the way. Johnson breaking loose. The rookie's on fire. Wow, this kid's having a huge half. It's just incredible.
You're such a great listener.
Thanks.
We got the players. They just didn't come through last year.
Next season for the Lions, you know, it might turn around. This kid, Joey Harrington, he looks good.
This is a team that can win. They've got the ingredients.
And we're making some good trades.
We have young pitching, and they're going to come through for us.
You believe in it, and you hope for it. You follow a team for years through the losing, the winning. You deserve eventually if something go your way.
You just hope the minor leaguers come through.
2003, Lions. Let's go, Barry. Come on back. You're not that old.
Resistance is futile. Cadillac CTS. Breakthrough.
Now the question arises, John, do you at this point attempt an onside kick?
No, I would think not. I would think if the Raiders were to kick an onside kick, they'd play right into Tampa Bay's hands, because if Tampa Bay were to get the ball here, they could just keep pounding the rock. I think I'd kick them deep, try and stop them deep, and play a field position game that way.
Agreed. Yeah, what they need is a 3-and-out now, or create a 3-and-out as Aaron Stecker brings it back, and he gets tackled at the 23-yard line. And you can log on right now to Superbowl.com, cast your vote for tonight's MVP, and then there's no, at this moment, clear-cut choice.
But you would think if the game continues to go this way, it has to be a Tampa Bay defensive player, because up until now they've really set the tone. But as they say in golf, there's a lot of golf left to be played. There's some football left to be played here.
There is.
But I think if the Bucs want to go conservative, I think that's why you want to kick them down here. Let them be conservative here, and you'll get good field position. If you want to open it up, then you're looking for a pick.
Huge defensive stand for the Raiders here. And it begins very nicely for Oakland as Pittman gets knocked down. And finally, the emotion. You can see the emotion among the defenders.
Well, you can just feel it, and you can even look across at their bench now. I mean, more players are starting to stand up. They're starting to get into this game, and you wonder if it's just too much too late. But now you can see that Tampa Bay has to make a decision here. Do you want to stay conservative and play this clock game here, or do you want to try and get first downs?
2nd and 9 from the 2nd and 10 from the 24-yard line. Johnson underthrown, but Johnson is there to kneel down, make the catch, and Rod Woodson finally knocks him out of bounds, but not until he picks up a first down.
There was no one out there on Keyshawn Johnson. The corner blitzed from that side, and there was no one covering Keyshawn Johnson. That was a heck of a thing by Brad Johnson to see that he looks, a corner comes off, and Keyshawn Johnson was out there all by himself. Look at it out here. You see, he sees the blitz. Charles Woodson comes, and because number 24 Woodson comes, he was the guy that was on Keyshawn Johnson, so there was no one on Keyshawn Johnson.
And Charles Woodson on that blitz, no factor at all. From the 42-yard line. Pittman. Anthony Dorsett first to hit him. Short game.
And you wonder about that play. You wonder if the Raiders really needed that. You know, if they needed to bring that corner off the corner to give them that play. And here's the play that I'm talking about. Is you just go, you see the corner, Charles Woodson coming from that side, and there was no one out there at all on Keyshawn Johnson, the closest guy being Rod Woodson.
And that's a great point. I mean, strategically, why do you send a guy with a plate in his leg in that situation on a blitz?
I don't think they needed that.
2nd down and 8 from the 44-yard line. Brad buying time, chased by Cooper, throws, and that's incomplete. 3rd down.
Because I'll tell you what that play did. I mean, that, you know, now it's time and it's field position and those kinds of things, and it gave the Bucs some better field position, which if they do turn the ball over or do have to, you know, have a change of possession and punt it, the Raiders' field position is not going to be as good.
Now Chuck Bresnahan's defense trying to get the ball back after Tampa Bay picked up a quick first down.
He has defenses all over himself, doesn't he? He has him on a card. He has him up and down his arm. He could look at any of his body parts or in front of him.
3rd down the play. 3rd and 8. Chris Cooper came across. Was he induced? No.
Encroachment, 75, defense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Oh, baby, you go from 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 3.
And this is another stupid one. I mean, here he is right here. All you have to do is look at the ball, and you don't move until the ball snapped. I mean, there's no way that you can line up on the ball and do that. You know, I mean, those are things that as a coach or an ex-coach drive you nuts.
That would drive you nuts.
Yeah, he's right there. The ball's right in front of him. All you have to do is watch the ball, go in the ball.
So the 3rd and long, 3rd and 3 now from the 49-yard line. They get pressure on Johnson. He has to throw off his back leg, and not even close. And with Charles Woodson covering on the play, there is a flag on the play. Thought I saw a flag, and now it's confirmed.
Yeah, there was a flag right there where Charles Woodson is.
And now they may say that the pass was not even catchable. They may take the flag away because it's not catchable.
Pass interference. 24. Defense. Automatic first down.
Wow. See if this is catchable to begin with.
Yeah, you see, here's Keenan McCardell, and it's a little stop and go. And what they do is that's what they try to do to Charles Woodson, and that ball was out of bounds.
Oh, man. I mean, it's not a catchable ball.
Yeah. Now, if they were going to call something, look when that flag came out. I mean, he could have called holding maybe earlier after 5 yards, but pass interference. I mean, there's no way right there. Let's say that left hand or that right hand up there on McCardell was pass interference. The ball was thrown out of bounds.
Absolutely. If you're wondering, can you review whether it was thrown out of bounds or not? No, it's not a reviewable play. 16-yard penalty, 35-yard line. Pittman, good juke step, stutter move, and finally James pulls him down at the 11-yard line.
And it started with those 2 penalties. Started with the offsides, and that gave him that 3rd and 3, and then the pass interference penalty. And now John Gruden is in the position that he wants to. Now, again, he can pound the rock. He can just run at him. He can run time off the clock because he has the field position to do it, and that's exactly what he's doing. Get the ball out there to Pittman, get out there on that edge. And I'll tell you, this is one of the teams that pulls their center. Watch Jeff Christie. He's coming out here. He's the center right here. You see, he not only pulls, but right there he's going to get a block. Or he's going to miss a block right there. But Jeff Christie, I think, was one of the first centers to ever pull and one of the better centers at pulling.
Pittman over 100, 120, and here's Allstott to the 9-yard line. And for the Raiders, this is a nightmarish series. You start with an ineffective corner blitz. You then have a penalty that goes from 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 3. You then have an interference call, and you then have Pittman break one.
And the big thing was right after they had the momentum change. I mean, that was when they got back into the game with the punt block and the touchdown. Now their defense has to go out and do the job, and their defense has kind of let them down.
2nd down and 8.
John Gruden is going to run this ball and take time off the clock.
Cross to Pittman. Slips down. Stopped at the 11. 3rd down.
Yeah, I was talking about Jeff Christie earlier. I remember when he was the all-pro center from Minnesota, played for the Vikings there for years. And as I watch this offensive line, I think they've improved somewhat during the year, and I think he's playing better. Just watching Phil and watching him play, I think Jeff Christie's playing better than he has in 5 years. And I think when Brad Johnson started going and passing and the offensive line, they started running a little better, I think he was a pretty important part of that.
3rd and 10 from the 11. Out into the flat, Allstott. He's taken down by James, so they'll have to settle for a Grammatica field goal attempt of about 28 yards or so.
I think the way John Gruden's playing the game now, it's a game of clock. It's a game of score and clock, and rather than forcing anything, doing anything stupid here, he wants to take as much time off that clock as he can and then take the field goal and just play from there.
And they'll take all the time off the clock they can prior to this attempt. 27 yards. 2 for the hole. Snap this with the play clock at 3, and then it's juggled. Is it Yepremian in disguise? No, he just falls on it. I'll bet you Garrow came into his head at that point.
I bet you Garrow came into everyone's head at that point. But at least he just went down. There was no way that he was going to throw that or do anything else with it.
So the Raiders stop him, but not the way they wanted. 9:02 left in regulation.
One morning I woke up and I knew you were really gone. A new day, a new way.
Robert, it's not too late to change your mind.
No, my bags are packed. Bye, hon.
And carry on. Rejoice, rejoice, 'cause we have no choice but to
Well, what this is a Chow Dynasty fondue pot. This is what was once called a telephone. Back here, this is something that was once referred to as a wire. Wire. People would actually be tethered to the wall.
That's weird.
Do you know how much this is worth?
No.
Diddly squat.
Dadgummit.
When your wireless phone can be your only phone, that's M-Life from AT&T Wireless.
Good news, everybody. We got a guest for tonight's big show. Hello?
Jimmy, we got George Clooney from Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, Snoop Dogg, one of the stars of today's Super Bowl, and Coldplay Live.
We do?
Yeah, Lou's Carrot Boy.
Bad news.
Jimmy Kimmel Live premieres later tonight.
So 9:02 remaining after the juggled snap by Tupa. Dramatica can't kick the field goal, doesn't even have the opportunity, and now Gannon at the 22. Three receivers bunched to the left. Gannon throwing to the left. Back to the tight end. Jolly reaches for the first down, a little short, 2nd and 1, and the Raiders now have to go quickly.
You know, one of the good matchups today has been Warren Sapp against Frank Middleton. Frank Middleton, you know, played for Tampa Bay, and they kind of know each other, practiced against each other. And Warren Sapp's a lot quicker than Frank Middleton is, but Frank Middleton's a pretty tough guy.
2nd and 1. And they throw it to Wheatley coming out of the backfield, and Wheatley has the first down. They've maneuvered their way up to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, I was looking at this play. It was just 2 plays ago, and you can see what I'm talking about. Middleton, watch Middleton here on Sapp. He's gonna go, and he gets a push, and then he's gonna grab him around the neck, just right there, and bring him back in. Frank Middleton has a, you do anything you have to the guy in front of you, but don't let him get to your quarterback.
Injury time out here. Shelton Quarles, the Tampa linebacker, is the injured player.
Warren Sapp was telling us the other day. He said, you know, he said, I've been here for 8 years, and he said we laid some hard bricks. And he said we want to win a Super Bowl, and one of the big things he wants is, he said, you know, they call Tampa Bay like Tampa Bay, Tampa Town. He said, I want a city. He said, if we win the Super Bowl, I want Tampa Bay to be called a city. He said, we want to represent a city.
And people to know it as Tampa, because ever since, you know, they started getting a collection of sports teams, they name it Tampa Bay. The city is Tampa, the area is Tampa Bay. For what it's worth. Not much. We'll be back. Injury time now.
Hey, Tim. Thanks for being the designated driver.
You mind giving my uncle a ride home, too?
No problem.
Great.
How you doing?
Why, thank you for asking. I'm doing fine. The people in that bar sure were friendly. And boy, that popcorn was good, too. Not a single kernel went unpopped. Let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever had popcorn with cheese on it? Delicious.
Hey, let's do this again real soon. I'm free next Friday.
Dinner, $30 on debit card. Two movie tickets, $20 on debit card. Ice cream, $10 on debit card. Leaving your cash at home, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's debit MasterCard, accepted almost everywhere cash is.
You watch the Super Bowl with the neighbor who has the biggest TV. Right after the game, replay all your favorite Super Bowl commercials with a neighbor who has the best internet connection. AOL Broadband. Everything you want instantly.
All new Tuesday. If you think John Ritter's Three's Company days are over, think again.
What are you doing here?
A new Three's Company. Now 8 simple rules. Then, what if you invented a doll that every kid wants?
It's a universal language.
I knew it, according to Jim. All new Tuesday on ABC.
When I came to the Bucks in '93, you know, we were referred to as the Yucks. We were the laughing stock in the league, but I never stopped believing that someday I'd be able to hold that thing. And here we are, minutes away from making that a reality. And I think you know, it should be what every player's motivation in this league is all about.
John's dad, a linebacker at one time for the Pittsburgh Steelers, very successful businessman.
John went to Stanford as a quarterback, was a baseball pitcher there.
Was drafted by the Florida Marlins and actually threw the first pitch ever in a minor league game for that organization as the pass by Gannon is tipped. Quarles came out. That's Warren Sapp tipping it. You saw Quarles, who was hurt. He was assisted off the field, and Nate Webster is in at linebacker for him.
Yeah, we talked about the Buccaneers in this base defense, and what they've been doing all night is with the 5 defensive backs. Here's Rondé Barber again coming off the slot. He's been on the slot all night, which is really like a linebacker. So they're playing like 4 defensive backs, and the 5th defensive back, Rondé Barber, is playing like the weak side linebacker.
2nd and 10. And that is caught by Jerry Rice, but only up to the 41-yard line. 3rd down coming up, under 8 minutes remaining.
You know, we're talking about John Lynch and when he came in the league from Stanford and all that stuff, and he said that Brad Culpepper told him once, he said, you know, remember Brad Culpepper used to play defensive line for the Bucks. He said, you come into this league with a silver spoon in your mouth and you make it in the NFL, then you've done something.
Yeah. He did it. 3rd and 7 from the 41. Gannon checking off, working the progressions, and then finally finds the open guy, and it's Jolly who got away from Barber, and that's a first down of the 46-yard line.
You see the difference in pass protection or in no pass protection. I mean, earlier, or the whole game, Gannon has had no protection and not been able to get rid of him. And this last play, I mean, he has all kinds of protection. And then you give Rich Gannon or any quarterback in the NFL this kind of time, he's going to make completions.
From the 45-yard line now. Corner blitz, look out, here comes Barber, and he got there just as the pass was released, intended for Jerry Rice. That's yeah, they just disguise it so well, John. The linemen back off, everybody's coming from all these different.
So tough. I mean, here's a corner, and he's coming from this position here, and I think that's a problem with playing 3 wide receivers. If you bring nickel, then nickel brings Rondé Barber as a slot corner, and as a slot corner, he is a great blitzer from that backside, just like that.
2nd down and 10 from the 45-yard line. And that's incomplete, and there is a flag down.
The flag looks in the area of holding, doesn't it? Offensive holding.
Holding, 65, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
Barry Sims. Well, Jerry Rice limited to 2 grabs, 9 yards. Brown caught that one pass early for a first down. That was almost the highlight offensively of Oakland's first half. So you have 3 catches for the 2 guys who will each be a first ballot Hall of Famer for 18 yards.
Yeah, and again, part of that was coverage. You know, they've just been playing that the nickel defense, that soft cover 2 zone, and the big part of it again was a pass rush and not let Gannon do what he wanted to do to get the ball to Rice and Brown.
2nd and 20. The Raiders have not run a single running play in this half, and of course the score has dictated that for the most part. They were down 20-3 at the half, and there's a sidearm sling to Garner, and he gets forced out of bounds at the 48-yard line. About 13 yards shy of the first.
You know, we were talking about Rich Gannon and how he throws the ball from different angles, and here's that sidearm one. You know, where he has to do it, he's getting a rush, and he has to find Charlie Garner and get a lane to it. But you see, he's looking here, and he's looking for his lane, and he's going to find it out there to the right. See it? And as he sees it, then he has to just put it out there.
3rd and 13. Deep open is Rice, baby. 48 yards. Wouldn't this be something?
I'll tell you again, Jerry Rice is the inside receiver, and he just runs right down the slot. We're talking about that soft zone. Here's Jerry Rice. He's going to come down and run a post. He just runs right through the zone. There's no bump or anything. He has two safeties on either side of him. He gets behind those two deep safeties, and Rich Gannon hits him perfectly. Again, it's a, why didn't you do that sooner?
So it's 34-21. They'll try to shave it to 11. Two-point conversion. And it's Porter. Was he forced out? They're going to say no. He was out. And the back judge is there saying no, sir. Nate Webster made contact with him, and now they'll congregate and determine whether he was forced out. But the back judge is emphatically saying, And the back judge, Don Carey, saying no, sir, and also there is a flag down.
Again, if the receiver is up in the air and he is pushed out of bounds, if he's in bounds when he catches a ball, and if his both feet are off the ground like that and he is pushed out, then that would be a completed pass. That should be challenged.
Going to check to see if this is even reviewable. It's not a flag. What was thrown out is the challenge flag. This is actually not reviewable. The act of forcing a player out of bounds is not reviewable.